can be tricky, can't they? Sometimes they're completely identical. Sometimes you can't quite believe they're related. A bit like these two cars that we have here, the Vauxhall Frontera and the Citroen e-C3 Aircross. Yeah.
You see, if they were real twins, when they were grown up, you'd be able to see straight away which one had gone off to art school and which one had the sensible job in accounts.
Yeah.
I'll leave you to figure that one out in the comments below. Let us know.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, they are kind of twins in a way, because these two cars, they share the same tech, they share the same batteries, the motors, the platform, etc.
They do, and they're both promising to make family driving more affordable, and both of them qualify for, hooray, the £1,500 government electric car grant.
Very nice. So today we're going to figure out which is the twin for you.
We will be seeing how practical they are,
What they like to drive.
and then we will be deliberating and arguing and discussing to find out which one we like the best.
Probably arguing, I reckon.
Yeah, probably.
Mostly.
Probs, yeah.
But before we do that, make sure you subscribe and leave a comment, because it's good for the algorithm and things.
And we are queens and slaves to the algorithm.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, we've actually already driven these cars, but when we did drive them, we didn't know the most important thing, which is the pricing. Now when it comes to this corner of the market, it is fiercely competitive, so most of your decisions will be made because of the cost.
And I think what is brilliant about both of these two is that they either undercut their petrol hybrid counterparts or they come pretty close to it price-wise. So we're really now seeing, for the first time, price parity across petrol and electric.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you've got the Vauxhall Frontera, so that starts at £22,495, which actually, after the government grant, works out cheaper than the hybrid. And then the bigger battery version is £25,995, which again is cheaper than the hybrid.
And you have a much better memory for figures than I do, Nicola, because I'm going to look at mine on my phone, because I've only just managed to find them out properly. The Citroen kicks off at £21,595. The extended range is £23,495. Those prices, again, including that £1,500 government grant. So, interestingly, and probably not what we were expecting, the Citroen is cheaper than the Vauxhall.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't understand that.
On the list price, which is probably not where we thought these would land. However, when you start to break it down and you look at the lease pricing, they're pretty much the same. So we do our standard leasing, which is 6-month down payment, 8,000 miles over 3 years. This comes out at £292. This one comes out at £290.
Oh, it's £2 a month.
It's £2 a month different.
£2 between friends?
PCP, though, gets a little bit more complex. And then you're really going to have to drill down into how much you want to put down and the terms that you want to have them over. So, look, I think what we're going to say is they're pretty close in price.
Yes.
OK. But what about character?
Well, here's the thing. Personality-wise, I think very different, because let's be honest, don't get me started on the Nissan Micra Renault 5 situation, because it just makes me upset.
Made you so cross, that
Makes me so upset.
OK, but they've definitely not slapped a Nissan badge on it.
No, thank God.
The e-C3 Aircross leans heavily on Citroen's recent design reinvention. There's a fancy big new badge up front, framed by triple-layer LED lights and a chunky skid plate. It's a bit of Ollie concept car flair, but toned down for the real world and real budgets. Chunky wheel arches and upright lines give it an SUV stance, whilst customisable clip-on colour accents, including French flag details, make it easy to add personality. It's longer than the standard e-C3 hatch, so it looks more substantial in the metal.
The Frontera takes a boxier, more upright approach. It's a dinky SUV. Its grille blends into the LED lights, and there's big Frontera lettering across the boot, just in case you forget what your car is called. It's a simple, chunky look that emphasises that this is the sensible one of the pair. Two-tone paint with a contrasting roof gives it a bit of character, but overall, it's more understated than the Citroen. The styling pack lets you add white steel wheels and a white roof. Yes, I love this, however you can only get it on the entry-level trim, which is a shame. Now, you might not be looking for a brand new EV, and that's where we can help. You're welcome. Our used car listings at electrifying.com have loads of different models with handy info like battery warranties. So you can see the listings by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. So if you're watching on your smart TV or your tablet, you can carry on watching and scroll our listings on your phone at the same time, because we all know that you like to multitask with your tech.
Of course, the big similarity with these cars is the stuff you can't see, the batteries. They start with a 44 kilowatt hour battery, official range around 189 miles for the Vauxhall. The Citroen, curiously, 188. Don't know why it's dropped a mile. Anyway, both also offer a larger 54 kilowatt hour battery, which gives up to 253 miles of range in the Vauxhall, slightly less, 249 in the Citroen. Both can charge at up to 100 kilowatts on a DC fast charger. That means 20 to 80% in about 26 minutes. When it comes to AC charge, this is slightly slower, 7.4 kilowatts. AC charging on the Frontera is 11. But whilst loads of those details are the same across both cars, where they differ massively is inside. They have such a different vibe. So like I said, this is just a little bit more for me creative in here. I like all the different textures on the dashboard. You've got interesting lines going on over there, nice use of materials. And yes, I know it's a bit cheesy and a bit live, laugh, love, but I do like the little have fun and be cool and be happy. Yeah, it just makes me smile when I get in it on a cold winter's day. What I like most in here, though, is the fact that it's quite a pared back, minimal vibe. So you've got those twin screens in the Frontera, which I know will work for loads of people. But here you've got your, the information from a second screen projected just there in front of the driver. One thing they both do really well is lots of physical buttons. You've got them down there for all the climate control in both cars. And they're also well spec'd. So you've got wireless charging, cruise control comes as standard. You really can't complain about the levels of spec you get even in the entry level. I might have a little moan though about the fact that you only get heated seats and heated steering wheel in the top specs of both of these cars. It would be nice to opt it in the lower specs, but that's not an option, certainly not at the moment. In terms of practicality, a couple of cup holders, little storage compartment under there. But while I'm here, let me give a shout out to the seats. Oh my goodness me, they're so squishy and lovely. Citroen, you do such great seats. Got memory foam in them. We're going to have a quick chat about efficiency. So we haven't driven the Frontera long enough today to be able to talk about it on this, but I've had quite a decent go in the Citroen. So the claimed range on this 44 kilowatt hour battery is 188 miles. That would equate to around 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour. In reality, on the motorway coming down this morning, I was getting 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour, around 100 miles of driving range. Now, we would expect that a smaller battery will drop a decent amount of range when you're at speed on the motorway. So, it's not to be unexpected, but I do wish that it was a little bit more efficient at speeds. Now we've had a chance to drive it more around town. That figure has come up. I'm getting more like 3.6, 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour out of it. Still off the claim range though. I think what we need to do as always with both of these is drive them for a bit longer. We'll get them in for a week and we'll update the review over at electrifying.com. So if you want to get a clearer idea of what the efficiency is in the real world, make sure you head over there and check that out too.
Right, here in the interior of the Vauxhall Frontera, we have two screens instead of what Ginny's got with that sort of head-up display situation she's got going on. So we've got the two 10-inch screens here. Honestly, I don't think you need all of this information when it comes to driver information, but it works perfectly fine. This is also perfectly intuitive. So you've got your radio stations, you've got your wireless CarPlay, your wireless Android Auto, brilliant. Other things that are also wireless is your charging. That is also cooled. So it blows like air on it so your phone doesn't overheat, which is very, very handy. Now, one of the biggest differences that you'll spot in this car is we come complete with pulley straps. Stay with me. So basically this bit here where you keep your cups, although we've got a really thin can so it doesn't work very well here, but you've got sort of stretchy bits here that means you can hold on to bigger things. And it also means you can do that and just do like satisfying pulley things. I don't know why it wraps all the way around. But it's a satisfying thing that your passenger will play with and that will annoy you very much. Now, normally, when it comes to a Citroen, so the e-C3 that Ginny's in, she would always give a shout out to the seats because they have advanced comfort seats. However, here in the Vauxhall Frontera, we have what's called Intelli-Seats. So basically, the middle bit where your tailbone is sort of cut out. Hold on. I don't know if you can see it, but under there, there's like a little dip down there, right? Down there. And it basically means that it's only your bum cheeks that are actually touching the seat. So then it means that your spine is more settled, and it means on longer journeys it looks after your spine and your back, and it's just nice and cushy on your tush, I guess. Intelli-Seats, there we go. Bit of storage, a little bit up there where you can chuck a phone. You've actually got 23 litres of storage within the car, which is pretty decent. I mean, you've got, I would like to call this a little shelf. I know it's the door handle, but it's got a little shelf bit in there, so you can keep like some treats in there. Good door bins, bit of storage in there. Again, the storage in there. I mean, that's an annoying shape, isn't it? But you know, you make it work. Storage is fairly decent. If I'm honest with you, I think I prefer the squishier, softer furnishings that you get in the Citroen, whereas in here it's more sort of harder surfaces. Yes, I know these materials all look and feel quite nice, and you don't get the horrible gloss black that you got in the Citroen, but in the Citroen up here it's all a little bit squishier and a bit softer, so sometimes in here it can feel a little bit more echoey, if that makes sense. Harder furnishings, echoier sound. You got a bit of material there, look. Is that the only bit? That's the only bit. It's all right.
Now, both cars make the most of their similar footprints, so we thought it was only fair to show you the rear seats using the same person, mostly because Ginny is much shorter than I am, and frankly we couldn't be bothered, so enter Manos. There's generous rear legroom and a flat floor in both. The Citroen's slightly sloping roofline gives it a sportier look, but the Vauxhall's boxier shape means more headroom. Plus, on the outer seats you've got Isofix points and plenty of room for a rear-facing car seat.
They're both very practical, aren't they?
Both very practical, aren't they?
They are, and they're both bigger than cars like the MG4 and the BYD Dolphin.
Yeah,
They are.
yeah.
So 460 litres.
460 litres.
Put the seats down, you get 1600.
Put the seats down, got 1600.
Low load lip, which we like.
Low load lip, which we like.
We do. And a hidden underfloor compartment for your cables and your wellies.
And a hidden underfloor compartment for your cables and your wellies.
Roof rails on the top spec.
Roof rails on the top spec.
A nice big boxy opening.
Nice big boxy opening.
Only I think my opening is a bit bigger, so you can get bigger stuff into it. Stop it, Nicola.
I didn't say anything.
Like these indicators.
Should we kick off and talk about your favourite thing?
Yeah.
She's obsessed.
I am obsessed.
Indicators.
And I think it's right that other people should also be obsessed with something that you have to listen to a lot.
Listen, if it matters to you, it matters to me.
I'm just saying. God tier indicators, Polestar 2, hands down. Hands down, wins all day, every day.
So I think they're quite nice in this. They're quite...
No.
What?
No, that's too much. Whereas other Citroens, like I'm thinking the Citroen C5, that has really nice indicators. They just feel more gentle. They're really nice on the ears.
But
whereas these are too, like it's too much.
Okay.
Our
All right.
brain doesn't like it.
Something else that is a bit too much in this car, in fact, in both of these cars, are all the warnings, the bings and the bongs, for when you exceed the speed limit slightly, or when you go a little bit too close to the central line. It's quite a lot. However, it is excellent because there is a little button just down here on the side of the steering wheel in both of them. You press it once for a couple of seconds, they all get turned off. It's so nice not to have to stab through 4 different menu screens, isn't it, to get to them?
Here's the thing, like I appreciate the fact that, ADAS systems are all good for your safety and that kind of thing, and that's great. But sometimes those bing bongs just become a little bit on the irritating side, and it's nice to just be rid.
It is, and they have recognised that, and it's very easy to do. Right, so let's chat about driving.
Yes.
So, I personally, you know what I'm going to say about the steering, don't you? Because you know me and steering, it's really light. Like
You're all about steering, whereas I'm just about the indicator noises. That's where we're at.
that's the difference. So I do think it's a real Citroen thing, I think, to have slightly overly light, slightly overly assisted power steering at low speeds. So for me, it is way too light around town. A lot of people that won't bother, that is just a personal thing. But once you get above 30, you get a nice bit of weight to it, and I like it a lot more once I get above 30.
I think the term overly assisted is probably the right way to word it.
It is.
Because it does feel like there's too much going on behind it. You don't feel as connected to the wheels as you should do.
But there is a slight hint of body roll on this when you go into corners. It is absolutely nothing that's going to bother you if you're driving this car day to day.
But if you're being picky, can you just feel it? There is a slight hint of it there, just a little bit more than you feel in the Frontera.
Now that is because it's a Citroen. And Citroen they're made to be comfy.
Soft
they're made
squishy.
to be smushy pushy and you're a little tushy.
And that was the point I was going to do next, because I think the ride's really, really nice.
Yeah.
It is nice, definitely.
Yeah.
It's great over the bigger lumps and bumps. You get the speed bump or potholes, and it's just like, okay, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
A little bit more jittery though when you just get really bad road conditions, but nothing to bother you a lot. But it's definitely better on the bigger lumps and bumps.
I think it genuinely depends on what you want to use the car for. If you're just going to take this on school runs, take it to the supermarket, that kind of thing, and you're not taking it on long motorway rides every single time,
Yeah,
this is actually a cracking car.
it is.
And it's so nice and comfortable. And I always have to shout out to Citroen's advanced comfort seats.
Oh, memory though.
Oh, nice.
Literally like sitting on a posh mattress.
Yeah.
I'm driving. It's so nice.
It's so nice on your bum.
And you know what? For a car that is at the more affordable end, it does feel like quite a nice, refined, comfortable package for the money, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
So the thing I noticed straight away in this, at those speeds, is the same thing that we noticed in the Citroen, which is there is the little whine. She's a whiny old beast.
She is whiny.
She likes to moan.
Yeah. It's like she doesn't want to go.
No.
She doesn't want to leave. She can't be bothered. She can't be bothered to leave the house. She just wants to stay in her pyjamas.
Do I have to?
Yeah, so it's like...
But then it kind of becomes less apparent once you pick up a bit of speed, because it's disguised for her. She gets on with it then.
Yes.
But it is something actually that you do get in small cars, because I'm running a Renault 5 at the minute, and I am quite conscious of the whine of the motors in that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... You end up kind of getting used to it and ignoring it in the long run, I think. You just get used to it, don't you? I'm going to throw out an opinion.
Okay.
I think the Citroen rides a bit nicer.
Yeah, agreed.
It's smoother.
It is smoother. I think the issue for me with this is over smaller bumps. So the Citroen is great over potholes, as we were saying, and speed bumps. You are aware of bad road conditions slightly, but this is more so. I'm feeling the bigger bumps more in this as well. The suspension, I mean, considering they are so similar, it's just not quite as cosseting, is it? Did you like that word? Cosseting.
That's really nice.
It's good, isn't
Good
it?
vocabulary.
Cosseting.
Someone's got word of the day toilet paper. We are aware that these two cars that we're testing today have the very same underpinning, same batteries, that kind of thing. But
yeah,
they have very different personalities, and what I appreciate is the fact that they're allowing the personalities of the car to show.
Yeah.
So actually, in terms of normal day-to-day people, the general public, they will be looking at a Citroen and a Vauxhall. They won't be looking at a Stellantis car. They're looking at two different brands. I would also like to say,
go on.
I prefer the steering wheel shape in the Citroen.
It's a bigger steering wheel in this,
It's a
isn't
bit
it?
bin lid.
Do you know what I mean? It feels nice and compact in the Citroen, I agree.
Yeah.
I think the seats are a bit comfier. I know Vauxhall's got its own
Intelli-Seat,
but it's the memory foam. Like I said, oh my God, those seats are so squishy and comfy.
You do get a happy bum.
Although there is a bit more support in this. A bit firmer.
I feel a bit lower though in this. Citroen, I think, is a slightly higher on the seats.
Being a kind of Oompa Loompa, I like the slightly raised position.
You said Oompa Loompa, that wasn't me saying.
It was a but
I would call you pocket size.
I hear what you say about me. I do know. I do know what you will call me. Mini Ginny.
Mini Ginny! I've never said that, but now I'm going to. Mini Ginny. Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah,
you are pocket size.
Polly Pocket.
Yeah.
So two electric family smallish SUVs. As you can see from this angle, they really are both very, very similar.
But different, which is important.
It is very important.
Yes.
As we said, art student, accountant.
Yeah.
Both do their jobs really well. This one's great at watercolours. That one's brilliant at numbers.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Can I have a moan?
You can.
Right, thank you. If I was picking a Vauxhall Frontera, I would like to go for the ultimate trim to make sure that I've got my heated seats and my heated steering, but I would like to be able to opt for the smaller steely wheels.
Oh, yeah.
because I think they look nicer, but you can't opt for that at the moment. I've had a word with Vauxhall and they said we're going to look into it.
Because when Nicola says it gets done.
Fingers crossed.
Look, I think, like we said, they're both great cars. It's really going to be personal opinion as to which one you would go for, because they stack up really well, price-wise, spec-wise. They're both nice to drive, both spacious. I think ultimately it's going to come down just to personal choice on what you like about the interior and the way it looks.
Yes, exactly that. I know which way we're both leaning.
Yeah.
Because we're both kind of similar in that sense.
Yeah.
We're both a bit more arty.
We are.
Yeah. But that's not anything against accountants.
Honestly, we thank accountants every day for the work they do, keeping us, organised.
Organised and up to date with our taxes.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Let us know what you think in the comment section below and don't forget to subscribe.